everyone. Welcome back for session 4. Today was all about soft skills. So Scott, can you tell us what are some skills that you possess yourself that is important to your job? And also, how does your work fulfill you?
So let's talk about the skills first. I think there are probably, well, I'm not going to be here sitting bragging, but I'm fortunate. I've got a lot of skills, but there's two that I think of, and there's a third funny one that has helped me and has made my life so easy in business. And I'll talk about that first. And that skill is typing. When I was in high school, my senior year, I needed one more class to fill out my schedule. And one of the classes, I don't even know if they even offered any more school, was typing. Now, this is how old I am, right? You guys probably haven't seen a typewriter, but it's like a keyboard on your computer that you would stick paper in, and you'd hit the keys and it would punch letters up on there. My typewriter wasn't even powered. It was a manual. So you'd get keys that were stuck. You couldn't erase things. But the beauty of it is it taught you like you do with piano. I took piano as a kid. It taught you where to put your hands on the keyboard, and I can look at any page I want and not even look down at my keyboard. I can look up at the page, and I can type probably 80 to 100 words a minute. So what that means for me is I do emails faster. I can make presentations faster. You probably a lot of times see folks out there that are typing with two fingers like this, and they're having to look down with something like that. Hey, that works. That's fine. It's just a lot slower than what you do. So your generation's a little bit different than mine because everybody's on a computer, everybody's on a phone. So you're learning where the keyboard is. But I would really encourage you, or at least I know for myself, it was a big help to learn how to type, and I memorized where all those keys were so I could close my eyes and type just like that. I think the other skill that's probably very helpful to me is the ability to communicate. And there's different ways you can communicate, right? Everybody just thinks communication is this what we're doing right now is talking, but it's not. I'm sad, right? I'm happy. I'm kind of questioning you. You can communicate through facial expressions, or I can put my hands on my shoulders and I can be mad, or I can be, I'm closed, right? Or I'm looking at you and I'm like, hey, way to go. I'm excited for you. That's body language, okay? So it's not all just about communication with doing talking. It can be facial, body. You can communicate through an email. That's the most challenging one, right? Because you're not talking. So you may say a sentence and you may think it's a joke, but the other person may hear it and think there's a problem with it. I used to have a person that sent me emails all the time, and I never did find out why, but they always wrote in capital letters. And there's a thing in email, what's called etiquette or behavior, how you're supposed to behave, that you only capitalize a full word if you're yelling that word. You know, like if you did, you could just say happy birthday, or you could say happy birthday, and you would put that all in capital letters. Well, I would get a paragraph and it was all in capital letters. So I thought this person was angry and yelling at me. And they were like, no, this is how I type. I always type in capital letters. So email is another form of communication, but you have to learn to be able to look at the email and read it to yourself and think of it not as you are saying it, but as the other person is reading it, how they're going to perceive how they read it. So I think communication is another one of those big skill sets. And then I think lastly for me, it's just organizational skills. Two big words, right? And basically what that means is that I'm a pretty organized person. And so what that means is, I have a calendar. And so like I knew we were going to do this call today because I put it on my calendar and my alarm went off 15 minutes before this call. So I knew that this was coming up. It wasn't all of a sudden I looked up and went, wow, what happened? I can tell you a very funny story that happened this morning. I was laying in bed and it was about 7:30 in the morning, and I got a text message on my phone, and it's from the gentleman who does work in my yard. And he said on the text, okay, we're here. Where are you? and I had not put it on my calendar. And I looked at my wife and I just went, oh my gosh, Joe's outside. And I had to jump up, get dressed, run outside and show them around of what's going on. Fortunately, that doesn't happen very often with me because I'm usually pretty good about putting it on my calendar. Another way of being organized is by putting things on your desk. So I'm going to turn my phone around here and you're going to see my desk and my keyboard. And you can see I've got little notes here, right? Things are laid out. I've got a guy's card right here. I've got to enter into my computer. So that's another way to be organized. And what's good about that is you're preventing problems from happening in the future. The more organized you can be, the easier it is. Think about if you were to go, your teacher might have a filing cabinet in the room, right? And how does a filing cabinet work? Well, normally it works that everything's in alphabetical order. And we know what that means, right? A, B, C, D, E. But just imagine if you pulled out the drawer and it went from letter A to K to D to Q, come back to S to Z to V, back to E. It would take you forever to find things or file things. That's why we have numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's another way of organizing things. So I think that's the last thing that I would say on a skill set. So, my typing skills, my communication skills, and my organizational skills, I think are things that help me. And remind me again, there was one other thing you wanted me to talk about.
Yeah, just how does your work fulfill you?
So I get fulfilled with work in a couple of ways. First off, I'm a kind of I like to compete. I like to play sports. I like to see if I can do better at things. So I'm driven. When you do sales, for instance, I know what my sales were last year. Let's say we sold $100,000 worth of plumbing equipment. Well, my question to you would be, do you want your sales to go up from last year, or do you want them to go down from last year? Well, you want them to go up. You want things to keep getting better, right? So I get fulfilled when I can see that the company and I can see that myself are doing a better job for the company with that. The other way I get fulfilled is I'm challenged. Sometimes people get confused and they think of challenged as a problem, but challenges aren't. I would say they're only a problem about 30% of the time. Challenges really are opportunities or a chance for you to fix something. And my family knows I'm a fixer. People come to me all the time and say, hey, I don't know where to find this, or I don't know how to fix this. My granddaughters immediately, when something breaks, they just pick it up and they come to Opa. That's my nickname, Opa, which means German, which is German for grandpa. And so they immediately just bring me their dolls, their toys, their furniture that they're playing with. And they just know that if anybody can fix it, Opa can fix it. So I get fulfilled with my job and that there's always problems that are going on that require me, especially at my senior level within the company. I'm the number 2 man in our company. There's our president and then there's me. So I'm fixing a lot of things because my president doesn't want to have to deal with it. And he owns the company. So he has that luxury of telling me, Scott, you got to go fix this. So I guess the last thing and the fulfilling is I'm always getting the opportunity to make our company better and fix those challenges and fix those problems.
Yeah, so students, take that into consideration whenever you're looking and thinking about your future career, which you will be soon in middle school. Think about what's going to fulfill you each day and what skills that you have that you can bring to the table in your future career. Okay, guys, we'll see you next time for our last session, session 5. Bye.